Roshan.
I am starstruck. So nice to see you.
Oh, so nice to see you as well. First of all, thank you so much for making time. I am really, really excited and honored you'd speak with us. Seriously, thank you so much.
Don't thank me. I'm happy to be here, bro. You are helping me spread myself.
Well, I gotta do a little brief intro for our listeners on who you are. I first came to know you listening and watching your Mom's House podcast with Tom Segura and Christina P. And they
Okay.
showed one of your videos and they had me rolling on the floor laughing. And I started to go through your videos. And the more I listened to you, the more I was like, wait a minute, this guy's actually a master craftsman. And I started to look you up and I was so impressed with the amount of detail and passion that you talk about your suits and the way you tailor people and how entertaining the marketing value of what you're doing with social media at the same time. Just kudos, thumbs up, and I love it. So I want to first off start off and say I love people who come from a family business because I came from a family run restaurant, and so I know
Okay.
the ups and downs of running a family business, and I can only imagine what it's like in the tailoring world.
It's absolutely nutty over here. You don't want to be around me and my father ever, ever. In a family business, 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, bro. It equals like -6. Okay, 1 plus 1 plus 1. Add my uncle to the equation. I mean, it is just whack. You've got three different leaders, three different perspectives, three different egos, pride, the absolute works. It's just a horrific environment to be in. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely horrific. It's so toxic. I mean, I'm laughing. It's so toxic, right?
I
Nobody
re-
can. Yeah, it is just insane. Like, I mean, everybody's sniping at one another all the time, but because our workforce is entirely Asian, okay, and it's Pan Asian and stuff, everybody already understands the dynamic, right? Because family businesses, family traditions, family relationships are so similar and predominant across every Asian family across along the past centuries. You know what I mean? Not much has changed in this neck of the world. There's really no and there's no, what can you do for me sort of stuff, and like, oh, where's your lounge, and can I work from home, and what about a 4-day work week, and etc etc.
oh,
That shit doesn't
bro.
exist yet. Listen, can we swear? I mean, how do we
Oh
have to
yeah,
be
yeah. Swear as much as you want and just be
okay?
comfortable. Just be yourself. Yeah, yeah. We can do that
I
here.
don't
We're
want
all
to
good.
screw up your show and stuff. You know
Oh
what I
no,
mean?
we curse. We trust me. If it's really that bad, we'll bleep it out or edit it out. But for the most part, you can say whatever you'd like. So it's all good.
So I mean, it's pretty hilarious. But the thing is that like I can't help but be in awe of my dad and my uncle. Now I've worked
Mm,
for them for 24 years, right? Which is
mhm.
more than half my life. And I'm also living proof of child labor in China, in the sense that, under the age of 10, when I was like naughty, as that's the way my mom put it, right? She'd send me to the store as punishment to work. I mean, I don't know what punishment it really was. I got to hang out with my dad and my grandfather and meet John McEnroe and Ivan Lendl and Stefan Edberg and Boris Becker. So you know how much punishment that was. But, from 11 onwards, end of 11, so say starting the age of 12, Christmas holiday, Easter holiday, summer holiday, I'd work in the store doing sales and stuff. And I did that till I was 16. And, once you hit 16 and stuff, your life sort of changes. You're not getting up early during holidays. You're not spending time with family, right? You've got other priorities. And I graduated high school. I went to NYU. I came back here to Hong Kong. I worked for a big British law firm for about 6 months. Then I moved to
Mhm.
London. I worked for about 12 or 13 months. And so I've been with my dad and uncle full time. And as nutty as they are, and as temperamental as they are, and their tempers are horrific, right? You have to take your hat off. Okay, let's take my uncle, right? I mean, he has worked in this business, gosh, we're 66 years strong. So let's say 66 years, you know what I mean? Because
Wow.
both brothers worked as little boys in the store alongside my grandfather. And he just knows his shit now. Now, he may not be able to evolve, but you take your hat off for him for one, um, working for 66 years to being my father's shadow for 66 years and taking it and still showing up every day. I mean, they had their own issues, right? Over the years and stuff. And then you take my father, who is just so accomplished, right? I mean, he was just given an MBE by Queen Elizabeth at the end of 2021 before she passed.
Mm.
That's a member of the British Empire. He was knighted by the King of Belgium in 2007. And, he's got 3 major awards from the Hong Kong government from three different leaders and stuff. And then he's worked with every other celebrity on the planet, right? I mean, he's worked with 4 US presidents, President Trump, both President Bush's, President Clinton, and every other A-list celebrity there is. He's worked with 4 British prime ministers. That's insane. Margaret Thatcher, John Major, Tony Blair, and Boris Johnson. I mean, you can name a category and I can go on and on.
Yeah.
So and then you add to the fact that he works 6.5 days a week, just like me, but he's done it for 66 years. You know what I mean? I say I've done it for 24. My uncle's worked 6 days a week for 66 years, right? I mean, as much shit as these guys put shovel on me, you know what I mean? They take their dicks out and piss on me on a daily basis. I'm not even making this up, and I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because I'm blessed, right? Just, even if you take the whole celebrities out of the equation, even if you take the success, right, out of the equation, the awards out of the equation, just the fact that they have worked 6 days a week for 66 years. I mean, like, how do you rebut that, right?
Well, I think that the 2 most interesting things that I've come to learn about you from your interviews is the fact that there is a certain uniqueness and a certain thing and a certain experience you get from working with family in a family run business that you don't get anywhere else at any kind of job. I love my father to death, but I will say this, working with my father, I can work with anybody in the world and be totally fine. I feel confident. Like that's and him teaching me the benefits of work ethic and what you can accomplish by working very, very hard. That stuff translates no matter what field you go into, no matter what craft.
I'm totally with you, right? It is just incredible, right? Like what that teaches you. And the thing is that, like, for my kids, and I've got 3 of them, if my father didn't work this hard, I wouldn't work this hard, right?
Mhm.
Everybody, every client, every friend over the years asked me, how can you not take any time off, right? Like, how long can you keep pushing this, right? And I was like, I have no choice, because if I don't show up, my dad won't show up. I mean, my dad will show up. You get what I'm saying? So it's either I show up or my father shows up. There's no choice in the matter. This guy won't take his foot off the pedal. I mean, he's finally taking his foot off the pedal because he knows he's got me. But as soon as I don't show up, this guy's just going to be doing the same shit that he's done all his life. So
Right.
I got no choice in the matter. But I mean, like, I honestly think that this work-life balance is a whole bunch of bullshit. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Okay,
Okay.
I grew up on Rocky and Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger and the American way and the American dream and hard work and a farmer's sort of mentality, right? Now, look, bro, I get up at like 4 to 5 a.m. every day. Okay. I work out, say, 5 times a week. This week I'll do 4. Last week I did 3, just because it's Easter holidays, want to spend a bit more time with the kids. But when the kids are at school, it's Monday to Friday, right? I need to get the fuck out of the house because it's like World War IV
Mhm.
in my home when the 3 of them wake up, right? So I might as well be out working out. Now, when I wake up, I still spend an hour and a half across my 3 phones. Okay. I then go work out for, say, 60 minutes. I then come back and eat and, maybe spend another 30 minutes on my phones. Then I come to work and I work a full day. And then from 7 to 8:30, 7 to 9, excuse me, 7 to 9:30 every day, I spend serious quality time with my children. Okay.
Mhm.
That's both um, eating dinner, talking, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, teaching them something, hearing about the day, putting them to bed, etc., etc. 2.5 hours Monday to Sunday is it's a lot of time with your children. You know what I'm saying? That's very healthy. 5 workouts a week is a lot of time working out, right? And then working every single day, 6.5 days a week is I'm at 98 hours a week now. You know what I mean? I've
Mhm.
upped myself to 98 just because the volume of work that has to be done, right? It's a byproduct of my success. And I think that my success, I very quickly understand is that, look, if you flew to Hong Kong, right? You're like, fuck, I've flown to Hong Kong. You're taking out, say, minimum 1,000 US. It's obviously a lot more for a hotel, for an airline ticket, right? You're talking about minimum $1,000 to stay here for a couple of days and stuff. You want to work with me. You don't want to work with anybody else, right? You just flew, halfway across the world to spend some time with me, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, so like, there's only one of me to go around, and the only way I can spread myself, right, is the hours, right?
Mm, I understand.
And, and that's pretty much it, right? There was a bit of a disappointment um for people because I'm the face of the franchise, right? They buy a season ticket to come and see me, not to bring a cheat sheet or an Instagram video and tell my staff how to make it. Now my staff are great and stuff,
Well,
right?
right. I think that's the clever thing you've done. You've made the marketing version of what you're doing very entertaining and very engaging, so
Mhm.
that you grab people's attention. But I think what keeps people coming back to you all is the fact that at the core of your business, it's a master craftsman business. I'm
100.
obsessed with master craftsmen across all types of field because the principles and the bits of wisdom that each one of these craftsmen apply to their work, these things at their core can be applied to everything. And whenever I've applied that to my career as an actor, I've found great success. And so I've got to ask you, kind of going back a little bit, just to get into the nitty gritty of it. I know we talked about like the ups and downs of working with family members. And for our listeners or people watching on YouTube right now, if you do come from a family business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's hard to explain what that's like without actually
I
experiencing
mean, I
it.
think it's easy to
Because
explain. Right? If you go and work for IBM, Goldman Sachs, Deloitte, Apple, McDonald's,
yeah,
they can't swear the living fuck out of you and slap you across your face, okay, and threaten your livelihood and throw you out, right? It's against the law, especially in your country, right? There's no rules here in Asia, especially in a family business. You're shat on and spat on and pissed on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter that you're an adult. It doesn't matter you've worked more than
can
half your life. It doesn't
I
matter that you have 3 children, right?
I get
It
no, I got to
matters.
tell you this funny story. One time I was telling my dad, and by the way, my dad always, if we needed anything money wise, he was always there to offer it. But
Yeah.
whenever I told him, hey, dad, can I get like paid by the hour or can I have an exact time of when I come into work? And he was like, oh, so now you need an exact time to come help your father? And I'm like, no, no, it's not that. I mean, that would be nice so I can plan. It's like, no, no, no. I didn't have Saturdays for like most of my high school, middle school, and Sundays, and then working throughout the week as well. But anyway, going back to your experience working with the ups and downs of family members, when did when did you start to realize for yourself, like, whoa, this is actually like a craftsmanship. This is actually an art to making these suits, to designing them, to picking them out, to talking with the customers, getting a feel for them. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. And honestly, right, like I love people.
Mm.
Okay. And I can't stand them at the same time. All right. I've loved people my whole life, and the older I get, the more I fucking hate them. Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I don't love them though, right? It's like a marriage, right? You love your wife, but you fucking hate her. You know what I mean? You want to fucking kill the
Yeah.
fucking bed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not
So
married, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
don't ever get married. Learn from half the global population of men who have had a divorce. Okay,
Okay.
and stuff. And so it's amazing what you just said, because I would say that at the core of half of my clientele space across my career, right, is they find the craftsmanship very, very, very appealing also.
Hmm.
Okay. And it's great that you say this, because I think my father has lost sight of it. Okay. He's
Mm.
lost sight of that. And he lost sight of that long ago. I think what made him fall in love with this business was the craft. And then in order to survive and then thrive and then keep the number one ranking, right, it became all about the product and the people and stuff. And I've never been a victim of that and so forth. So for me, it's always about the craft. It's always about building a brilliant a suit as I can possibly build for my client, whether they want that or not. And even if my client comes in and is clueless,
Mm.
even if my client comes in and is a Tuesday morning quarterback with his fucking Reddit cheat sheet, uh, or even if my client says, you do everything, I will try to get to the heart of my clients' needs and desires, right? I call myself the suit whisperer, not because I talk to suits, because I get into my client's head within 5 minutes, and then I end up bringing their vision to life.
Mm.
And I want like an architect or like a home decorator and stuff, right? I want my suit to be my client's vision brought to life, all right? Using my craft. I want my suit not to be my suit, but to be my client's suit. I
Mm.
want my suit to be my client's suit. And they're like, fuck, look at my suit. Look at the craftsmanship. Look at the craftsmanship. And this is a very, very powerful tool, right? Just like how every person loves their home, especially after they've done it up, right? A guy comes in, a woman. I mean, I make some incredible women's clothing, like absolutely incredible women's clothing. That they just love their stuff. They love their stuff. And it's not a case of the emperor's new clothes, right? Like you can't talk a bunch of shit and then they fall in love with your words, right? The product has to be fucking amazing.
Right. But was there a time though during this phase with your
I'm gonna explain to you. I'm
oh
gonna
yeah, okay.
explain. We have to rewind to tell you the how romantic this point was. Okay,
Mm.
we have to rewind because so as I walked in as a child into my business, right, and I'm looking up, right, I'm seeing every other person is like a famous celebrity. We have to understand that the 1980s, there was no Instagram, there was no internet, there was no nothing, right? There was NBC, CBS. I don't even think Fox was around. Okay. And then there was like ITV and BBC in the UK. And
Mm.
then you just had the major newspapers, right?
Right.
Yeah, so celebrities were very accessible. Okay, they were very accessible. And there was no hate. Hate was invented maybe last decade or this decade in the United States, right? There was no hate, right? There was no trolls. They didn't exist. There was no hate. The only dangerous people were the paparazzi, but they were not even that dangerous in the 1980s. All right. So celebrities were much more accessible. People had their guard dropped down, and I fell in love with this. And there was no way I wasn't going to join this business. You know what I mean? Meeting a celebrity every other day. And I joined this business thinking that it was a people's business, a celebrity's business, a business. Okay. But very soon into my full-time career, not me as a child, but me as, finishing NYU, finishing working in law firm, finishing working in London, very soon I realized, holy shit, right? People are so trusting because of our reputation. Okay. But we can't sell them fucking air, right?
Mm.
We have to sell them a brilliant product. And I have the opportunity to be a massive craftsman. I have an opportunity to be somebody great at what I do. I have an opportunity to be just bring this brilliant product to life. And that's when I fell for the craftsmanship. And I didn't inherit that from my father. No, not at all. I inherited it from being in the trenches with my tailors. And I was like, hey, shit, I can do this stuff. I can call myself smart. I can call myself talented. I can call myself charismatic. But I didn't have the talent to do what these guys did. Okay. They lay out a circular ruler and chalk stuff out and then cut stuff out brilliantly. I think the tipping moment was for me, I know, in fact, so, months into my career, days into my career, weeks into my career, we're doing fittings where the suit is partially constructed, right, on guys. And I've got my tailors whipping out long pieces of paper, cutting out shapes of lapels, cutting out pockets on the fly. So artistic, so fast, so much platform and profile and spotlight is given to great artists, painters, sculptors. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, man, fucking see my tailors. These motherfuckers are the most underrated fuckers on the planet. Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
with the way they sketch out. Okay, so I'm translating. So I've had 5-10 minutes my client. Okay, now I'm going through fabrics with them and then design with them, and then I have, I through their personality I sign them one of my tailors. Okay, my tailor comes down from the workshop above, and I'm dictating to my tailor now Cantonese, what the client's vision is, what my vision is, and they just freehand sketching the entire thing just through my words, through my broken Cantonese. And I was like, fuck, these guys are so good. I want to be like these guys, right? So early on in my career, it became very craft orientated, very design orientated. And once I mastered all that, it started to become again more about reading people. And I was very easily able to mesh the two things. And why was it easy? Because we had such an amazing amount of business, right? Such a volume of clientele coming through the door every day, right? And no matter what my dad said, because I'm his son, no matter what my uncle said, because I'm his nephew, they can yell at me all the fuck they want, and they can threaten and throw me out. They tell me every other day, get the fuck out, right? I could still do what I want to do, right? Like if my consultants try to be creative, right? I've always encouraged my consultants to be creative. I said, I pay you to be creative. I don't pay you to sell.
Right.
Okay. They're commission based here and stuff. I don't give a shit about volume because I'm going to eat all day long. I want to make great suits. I want to make great fucking suits. I don't care about numbers, right? You build it, they will come. I keep building amazing suits, people will come, right? I don't want any ups. I want my clients to be comfortable. You know, a lot of smart business people would shit on me, but it's okay, right? I'm still eating, right? Yeah, how much can I eat, right? I can't eat this fucking table. I'm already so fucking full. What more do you want me to eat?
Mm-hmm.
I have a unique niche opportunity to create here and be somebody, right? And stuff. So I always encourage my consultants to create. And you know, when I'm not around or they're being creative and my dad catches them being creative, he fucking yells at them. You know, I mean, he'll throw something at them. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not paying you for the shit. Sell the fucking suit and you know, have the customer get the fuck out. Now, my dad cares about the clients, but we're wired differently, right? He
Right.
cares about bottom line. He's also not a guy that chases numbers, right? Or profitability. But he's very old school Asian, very old school Indian. Don't spoil the customer. You know what I mean? You're going to make it hard for yourself throughout the process and later on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want to be the Ritz-Carlton of tailors. I want to spoil the client. I want to spoil them rotten. I want to give them stuff that they're not asking for, paying for, as long as they'd accept it. And so forth. So you know, I can see that spark in my consultants as well. They want to be creative and they've fallen in love with the creativity process and the craftsmanship process, but they're always on a tightrope. Can they be creative? Okay, Roshan's around, yes. Sam is around, no. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I fell in love with that craft very early in my full-time career, literally standing where you see me shoot those videos, right? The client is facing the mirror. So I shoot those videos at the end of the process, right? But halfway through the process, the client is facing the mirror. I'm by the client's side. I've got a master tailor by my side. And they literally, you know, you don't like the shape of this? I've translated, okay? They'll rip the lapel, they'll rip the stitching, they'll rip a sleeve off, they'll rip the whole shoulders off. And with their hands, you know, we talk about painters, sculptors, people who do pottery. With their hands, they'll reshape the shoulder, okay?
Wow.
Take a tack, tack, tack. I'm like, fuck. Now, why didn't I completely submerge myself in this craft? Okay. Why didn't I become a master craftsman like them? Because that's what they did not need. That's what my business did not need. That's
Mm.
what father did not need. That's what my clients did not need. They did not need another master craftsman. There's enough tailors here who are fucking great.
Mm.
Tailors need me to
Okay.
be one of them. My tailors need me to be me, to create that bridge between their artisan, their artistry, and my client's mind. My clients want the same thing. There's fucking tailors everywhere, right? How the fuck do they explain to the tailor what they want? How the fuck can the tailor get into their head and bring their vision to life? I mean, we're making exemplary suits. Nobody's making suits like us. That's not even showing off or whatever. Now, we're not traditionalists. We're not purists, right? That doesn't mean we're chasing a new rainbow. No, I mean, it is just literally wanting to be the Ritz-Carlton of tailors, bringing
Mm.
your client's vision to life, right? They want something you can buy a suit fucking anywhere, right? And you can spend $300 on it. You can spend 30,000 US on it, right? It's irrelevant, right? But we want to be that sort of interior decorator. At least I want to be, right? And I want my team to be that way, right? We want the suiting process to be very heartfelt, heartwarming, memorable. Every type of business says this thing. Coffee shops say this thing, right? Yeah, say the same thing. Hotels say the same thing. Airlines say the same thing. But you know, I've truly found a way of doing that, and it's not just like, you know, overfeeding the client this buffet of style attributes, right? Is offering them the buffet of style attributes and then guiding them on how to pick what's best for them, not force feeding them anything. So everything we bring out for them is unique. The permutations, combinations are endless. Every suit we create is unique. So that's another part of the allure, that no matter what they choose and what they walk away with, because the permutations, combinations of style choices are virtually endless, right? They will have something unique. We don't make the same suit twice. It's impossible, right? You know, all of us are working with different clients, asking different
Mm-hmm.
questions. They different fabrics. They'll make different lining choices, different button choices, different style choices, etc., etc. So this whole multitude of different things going on, service orientated things, added to the extremely high level of craft, mastercraft that my tailors have, that I have mastered early on in my career, just makes for this exciting new fun product. there's no real secret to my success other than the fact that we want to make brilliant suits. Now, you don't have a leg to stand on if your product is shit,
Right.
right? Like I mean, you can be the best hype man in the world, but if your product is garbage, I mean, that's basically it, right?
Oh, 100%. That goes to anything in life.
You're done. So to give you a very long answer to your question, to your original question, is I see guys whipping out scissors, cutting up paper, and creating lapels out of that in a second. They're the Usain Bolt of master tailoring, right? I fell to my knees. I was like, motherfucker, these guys are so good. Where do I sign up? And that was that.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, though, it does take a certain type of personality and skill to be that bridge between people and to really gain that or to bring that source out of the person who's looking for a specific suit to make sure that it's tailored to them, not just the physical alterations, but also the style of their personality, of what they're going for, of whatever event it is. And I think you have to do that on a daily basis because people change, people aren't all the same, and as styles change, the zeitgeist changes. I don't know what it's like. This is another thing I kind of want to talk to you about. I've never been to Hong Kong. That place
Mhm.
looks amazing. It looks fun. It looks like it never sleeps. What's it like in Hong Kong?
Let me first answer what you were saying, right? Let me agree with everything you're saying. I'm an evolutionist,
Mm,
okay? And I don't evolve for the sake of evolving. Okay. I don't force myself into evolution, but I embrace evolution in every way. So I encourage my clients to evolve. I'm well aware of all scopes of fashion globally. I'm not talking about red carpet fashion. I'm not talking about the shit that's dictated to you by fucking Vogue. Fuck that shit. I'm talking about traditional fashion, modern fashion, cultural fashion globally, okay, everywhere on the planet. And culture is the
okay.
most important thing. And not just culture as in race and ethnicity and religion, culture as in work culture. Are you a 21-year-old guy interviewing for Goldman Sachs? Or are you a 21-year-old guy going to work for your father in a marketing agency? Okay. Are you 40 years old and you work for Deloitte? Okay. Are you 40 years old and you've decided to start up your own business, regardless of the sector that it's in? Every person is different. Every person is a different point of their journey in their life. And I understand every type of work culture out there. There is not a work culture that I do not understand. So immediately I am there with them. Okay. I am with the 40-year-old at PricewaterhouseCoopers. I'm with the 22-year-old at Citibank. Okay. And I know exactly who their audience is and then how to guide them and build that suit so that their audience is blown away in the right way, whether the way is very small or just insane. Okay. Um, Remind me of your actual question. I'm so
Oh, so
sorry.
that's okay. No, no. I was asking what it was like in Hong Kong. However, before we
Yeah.
get to the Hong Kong bit, what dictates then? Because listen, man, I'm an actor. Most of
Yeah.
my outfits are white V-neck t-shirts. I'm not a fashionista. I wore my fanciest t-shirt today for this interview. I have suits that I was like, should I wear a suit? Maybe, and then I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wear a suit. I'm just gonna be me. So, I, I'm always curious though. What dictates? Who dictates, or what companies dictate the general fashion trends that hit the world? Because obviously we're a lot more globally connected now. So yeah, and then you're saying you don't necessarily go for those. You just kind of go for more what the person is needing in that moment, right?
100%. Look,
Okay.
okay. You don't need to keep ahead of fashion trends. You don't need to study it. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially not my business. Everything that I say to most Americans sounds very naive. Okay. Everything I say to most professionals, to most students sounds very naive. Pre-pandemic, I spoke to a lot of American universities and stuff. And I was like, listen, the world is a big fucking place. Honestly, I can learn about fashion everywhere through the bullshit that my clients bring me day in, day out. All right. I say bullshit. I mean, that's very, very harsh. Okay. Every day someone will bring me it used to be primarily magazine cutouts. Okay. Now it's a screenshot off of Pinterest, off of Google, off of someone's Insta. Bro, I love this. Roshan, I love this. Mr. Sam, I love this. Can you recreate it? I'll get these in DMs in advance now for appointments and stuff. And I'll be like, half the time, like, I fucking love it. Oh my goodness, I fucking love this. And the other half of the time, it's like, yeah, I can bring your vision to life. I don't need to love something, right?
Mm.
I'm going to know the client anyways. They'll come in now, whether they come in with a cutout or I print it out for them and stuff. We talk. through this process over the last 2.5 decades, I've learned about fashion everywhere. I don't even need to watch this red carpet stuff and whatever. I'm constantly being sent images through hyperlinks or the images themselves across every fucking medium. As soon as I get this image, I click it, I expand it, I go back to the source, I click the link, I browse around. It's easy to learn because of the amount of media that we have in this world. It's easy to see trends. You don't have to be on top of them, right? Being my business, you're force-fed them by your clients already. I watch a lot of news, okay? Every newscaster globally virtually is wearing a suit, okay? You won't really, you know what I'm saying? I need to learn, I need to watch the news first to learn about the world, to stay educated and stuff. You're looking at guys and girls who have a global audience, You're looking at men and women who have a global audience. I'm watching Sky News, BBC, CNN, Fox when it was around, France 24, Al Jazeera. Okay, so these guys, these men and women have a massive audience. So I'm seeing reporters, journalists every single day in their formal dress wear. All right, and you learn from that. And when you get to my stage, it doesn't have to be active learning. Okay, I can't suddenly say to myself, oh, you know what, I've had a convo with this guy and I'm like, shit, am I actually learning? For me, it's all passive learning, right? I'm constantly learning. I'm seeing guys in their new suits, I'm seeing women in their new outfits. Especially with women, imagery is so important. Every girl that walks in here that works with me, right? Like, I'm making them insane stuff. You don't see a lot of women's videos because they're always shy to do a video with me. And generally, when I do women's videos, I'm very, very respectful. It's just guys, we're having fun, right? It's
Right,
very
right.
stuff. But women are just shy. They're different. They're different. Species. I mean, we're all humans, but there's a massive difference between men and women. And I fucking love women, bro. I fucking love women. So I'm not fucking criticizing them, bro. You mean I want to meet a new woman every day? You mean I'm enthralled by women? I can't help it. You mean I'm genetically made up to fucking love women? That's the way I roll and stuff. And every girl, historically, even when I was imagining the magazine cutouts, it's more women who bring them in, right? It's just fucking brilliant. They have so many ideas and you learn from that ideas. And when they Google something on their phone and they send you or show you a photo from a specific site, you can look at the wider site. You learn so much so fast. And it's not active learning. It's not something that you have to sign up for. It's just passive learning through your clients. You're absorbing. Sure, on Sunday afternoons, okay, every other Sunday, when it's not summer, or if it's during the summer, it's raining, because I love to fucking swim. I need to swim. I need the sunshine. I need 40 Celsius. I don't give a fuck about global warming. Bring me 120 Fahrenheit every single day. I'm fucking golden, man. I'm brown and I want to stay that way. You know what I mean? And that's basically it. It's like every other Sunday, I try to go to Tom Ford, to Xenia, to Brioni, to Caton, to a high-end clothier called Lane Crawford. Your version would be Bergdorf, and Barney's, the Canadian version, would be Harry Rosen. Ours is called Lane Crawford. You look at suits. I'm looking at suits all the time. I'm fucking looking at suits. You know what I mean? I'm looking at suits all fucking day long. How can you not be educated, right? That education doesn't have to be conscious education. Oh shit, Tom Ford's doing this, I've got to do this too, right? That education is showing you, is your palette, is your constant palette. Okay, let's call it like a painter's palette of different colors, right? My palette is so wide, I can take from every single place. I can take from every single place if I have to and use that to pitch and then dial down those attributes or build up those attributes for each and every client. Okay, we'll take the classic Tom Ford look. 2 buttons, super wide peak lapels, floating ticket pocket, oversized pocket flaps, 5-button cuffs, elongated last buttonhole, gauntlet cuffs, okay, on his high-end suits, and big gauntlet cuffs. So like, we can say to a client, look, this is how Tom Ford does it. What of this stuff do you like? Okay, I like this. I don't like this. I said, okay, let's lock that in. Okay, what other stuff do you like, but you don't have the balls to do? Okay, I love that ticket pocket, but I don't have the fucking balls to do it. I said, okay, how about if we don't make the ticket pocket up high? How about if we kiss it? Still a bit too ballsy. Okay, how about if we reduce the pocket flaps? Okay, let's shrink them so you can have all 3 pockets. Fuck, Roshan, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Okay. Gauntlet cuffs, I love them. I don't have the fucking balls to them. I get thrown out of my company. How about if we go mini gauntlets? Amazing. Let's try that on one of the suits, right? There's so much out there. The important thing is to not box yourself into rules. Don't box yourself into some fucking GQ staff writer's fucking cunt rules. You know what I mean? You know what the fuck he's saying? Don't bottom the second button. Some fucking asshole who will criticize Leo DiCaprio for buttoning his second, but he's fucking Leo DiCaprio. I mean, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? This guy is getting paid and getting laid, and you're fucking criticizing him for buttoning a bottom button. Don't listen to cunts, keyboard warriors who want to fucking make headlines. Okay? Listen to me. Listen to yourself. Listen to fucking Tom Ford. He just sold his company for over $2 billion. Okay? And let's make an amalgamation of amazing style attributes that work for you, and we'll bring it to life, and it will be fucking phenomenal, and it'll be yours, and it'll be unique, and boom, boom, boom. And that's it. And, you know, when I work with so many people that I work with, whether they're 22 or 44, right? So there's a 44-year-old in Manhattan, all right? And he's a public defender, okay? He's a public attorney, all right? He's a DA, all right? He's a district attorney. And look, at 44, okay, and you work for the New York government for 20 years, all right? You think you can wear what you want, but the problem is you're facing a judge, and this judge is probably in his 60s, right? And he's an American judge, so he's I don't know what the word is. He's not discriminatory, but he's interpreting you and stuff. So like, I got to build this guy conservative suits, beautiful conservative suits, so that his argument, his defense is at the judge's attention, not his attributes. But I got to give him stuff that makes him feel good as well. So what can we get away with? Look, we're doing a plain blue suit. We're doing a plain gray suit for the judge. We can't do peak lapels because the judge is not going to like it. Okay. We have to assume that the judge fucking hates you. All right. This is what I do with all my clients. We look at who's their audience, who are their fans, and who are their fucking enemies. Okay. This is the nitty gritty that I do with my clients. This is how I get fucking excited, because we fucking draw up a plan, a fucking playbook. You know what I mean? I'm like fucking Bill Belichick. I'm telling you, motherfucker. I'm not making this shit up. I know I sound like a fucking lunatic, but this is why my clients love me. We draw up this fucking play, all right? Well, like, the judge fucking hates you. The suit has to be blue. The suit has to be gray, okay? We can't do a peak lapel. He's going to shit on you. He's going to think you're fucking Tom Ford fucking wannabe. We have to assume that the judge is a hardline, right-leaning fucking motherfucker, right? We need to win. We need to win. My job is to make my clients win, okay? What can we do? Okay, we'll stay in the notch lapel family. It's as American as American. We'll go wide because it's ancient. Wide is ancient, but wide is also hot right now. So we do a wide notch lapel. We'll do the ... hand, needle, and thread stitching because that's pure bespoke. The judge is going to like that, right? If we go with a deep press, he's going to think you're an aggressive motherfucker, right? No coloring the buttonhole. We can do the barchetta breast pocket. Why not? The curve and kick. Some nice Italian historical design there. Judge can't argue with 300 years of history. And then look, maybe we'll stop there. Okay, I think we're golden. But the guy's got some great shit, and the judge is never going to look inside his jacket, so we'll put some naked women in there, okay? Or someone taking a hit from a fucking bong, right? And that's it. So everybody gets something great, okay? And everybody has a Belichick ringer on their side. You know what I'm saying? They can bring in, understands their audience, understands their fans, understands their enemies, and will make something fucking great. All right. Because when you put clothes on, you feel fucking great. You chose your favorite shirt because you want to feel fucking good. I chose this blue pinstripe because I want to make an impression on you. You're recording me. What suit should I wear? I could wear any fucking suit. This is the suit that I want your audience to see. Right? It's not about you. I recognize who the fuck is my audience today. It's your fans. What do I want your fans to see? I want them to see that I'm the fucking Indian Brody, Adrian Brody. Right? I'm a throwback fucking Indian Michael Douglas from Wall Street. I understand all, brother. Yeah. I understand it all. So it's not just the craft. It's not just the personality. It's not just the vision. It's the understanding, the cultural understanding that I have that enables me to connect with every client, that enables me to I don't even have to cajole or convince, get a heterosexual 40-year-old white guy, 30-year-old Chinese guy, 25-year-old Indian guy to fucking let me touch his ass, okay? It's not about the ass touching. It's about, look, this guy's so fucking happy. He's letting me molest him for the whole world. That's how good that I've done. Okay. So go the fuck up. Haters, trolls, naive idiots. They all get it. I have broken so many barriers with each and every fucking client, right? They love me so fucking much. I never take that love for granted, brother. I never take that love for granted. But the whole point of that ass fucking touching stupid bullshit video is to show, look, the guy
Yeah.
fucking loves me that much. This is how happy he is with me.
It's obvious there's nothing malicious going on. It's joking around that's accepted not just from you but also from the other person. Otherwise,
And it's
you don't
brilliant.
seem like the type of person who would post something insane like that with the person going, "I'm not comfortable with this." Like, just think about the insanity
So
associated with
every
doing
client
something
is
like that.
tagged across every,
I
it goes on.
know, like,
It goes on their
obviously,
LinkedIn.
and that's honestly one of the reasons why I was like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty clever. He's getting my attention by making me stop scrolling on my TikTok. I keep going through his stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is actually, oh, he's a legit. He comes from a legit like family business. Oh, it's a legit tailor. Oh, wow, this they have all these. Wow, this is a real business. This is
The fucking
something.
institution.
If I go to Hong Kong, I'm definitely stopping by now. You know what I mean? And I think anybody who sees your
Bro,
videos who
you
come,
don't stop by, I'm gonna come fucking hijack you. You know, when you land here, you don't fucking come see me. I'm your
hey,
first stop.
okay, I'm going to tell you what I like right off the bat. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like practicality. Do you have any fabrics that are like four-way stretch? Because I'm always like, if I have to kick somebody, I have to be ready.
Bro, no problem whatsoever. But the most amazing part, I will give you four-way stretch. I will give you what the fuck you want.
Okay, great.
I have no stretch in my cloth. Okay? I have no stretch in my cloth. But my master, you know why I'm the master? Because this is a 350-year-old Italian company called Vitale Barberis. Okay?
Okay.
In They've been around since 1663. And in over 350 years of business, they've never vertically or horizontally integrated into any other industry. All they make is no way stretch, beautiful fabric. I am fully stretched. I have my 4D fit on. I can do fucking, I'm squatted on a revolving fucking chair. This is my master class, my mastery. There is nobody on the planet who can do this. This
All right.
is the 4D fit. You see it. You see it fucking live. Okay.
I love it.
And
I'm all
that's it.
my head. Just a little bit about me. I'm always like, okay, what if I have to do some jujitsu? I have to defend myself in a suit. I want to make sure
I'm
it
a
doesn't
goofy.
rip and I look good. That's all
No
I
issue.
care about.
Bro, I play cricket in my suits. I've done calisthenics in my suits. I've shot every type of fucking video there is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
saying all you do is scroll back, scroll back, scroll back. But yes, you land here, you want four-way stretch, no issues, my brother. I can make you anything.
Okay. Real question. Do you think you can handle my shoulders though? Have you
No
ever
issue. You have ski slopes for shoulders. Okay. They, they just go
brace
this way.
yourself?
No,
Brace
no
yourself.
problem. No problem. No problem. I make everybody, every guy
Eh,
having my Phelps back. I make every woman have Jessica Alba lats, bro. I will murder it.
you
I
know,
I I kill it every single time.
there's something about when you wear something that you feel a good in wearing it and it looks good and you get that response from people, especially at an event. There's something that happens internally. It's this nice warm feeling. It's this confidence booster that your true happy, like I feel like something internal happens. I can't pick the right word for it, but you're able to attack the day with a brighter smile, a little bit more confidence, and a little bit more positivity. And I feel like that's so important, especially if you're going to something special like a wedding, a courtroom date. I think all those things in life. For me, I remember I always would love to buy a good suit whenever I had a really big something to do with an acting event like a TCA, an awards, a gala. I always wanted to make sure I came presentable because I was proud of where I had gotten to in my craft and to be able to represent myself in a positive way. So people are like, oh wow, yeah, he looks good, and that's all that matters. It's not um like a cocky thing. It's something a little bit deeper than that.
I think one of the things that truly differentiates me from 99.9% of the people in the same business as me, from clothiers in general, whether it's off the rack, anything, is that people, the world, except for my father and uncle, have moved away from product oriented to customer oriented. But I'm not only customer oriented, I'm audience oriented. Okay. For me, it's not just about what they want, it's how they're perceived. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, bro, I didn't write this. I didn't write the line "close maketh the man." All right, it came long before all of us, and it's gonna stay there, right? After the two of us are gone, right? But exactly what you said is exactly what I
Mm,
understand. Like
mm,
everybody comes in here, they need something great. They want to feel fucking good, whether it's for the wedding, for work, for this or that, for a date, for graduation, for their kids' graduation, for their brother's wedding, for their daughter's wedding. I love it. I absolutely love it.
yeah.
I love what I do because it's so much about human emotion and ego. Okay. It's so much about human want and desire, right? It is a
Mm.
fantastical line of business to be in, right? And it's mine. And it's I a show called Miami Ink. You ever heard of that show?
Oh yeah, the tattoo show, right?
Ami James and Chris Nunez and shit. And they, people come in to get a tattoo, but they tell their life fucking problems to the guy,
Mm,
right? I'm like, I can't listen to shit. I'm not into other people's problems. I got enough of my own problems. But that's how my job is, right? Everybody comes in and they have their story. They
mm.
have their story. I got to listen to everybody's story, decipher it, and then create this win, this absolute win. You know what I'm saying? And it's got to be a win. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a platform for 9 out of 10. It's got to be 11 out of 10 every single fucking time. And I nail it, right? The happy faces, the success, the longevity show that. That's why I say right now, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, I'm number one on the planet right now. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to be there. And call it ego, call me an asshole, call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I feel great. I feel great. And I don't take any of that greatness for that great feeling for granted. I feel humbled and I feel blessed. And I'm like, fuck, I worked so hard to get here, right? And people are counting on me. You know what I mean? I tell my staff all the time. Told them since the fucking TripAdvisor era, all right? Fuck Instagram and everything. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
reviews is
TripAdvisor. Yeah.
important,
Wow. Yeah.
right? I hate fucking TripAdvisor and stuff. But I'll tell you something. In the second half of the first decade of this millennia, right? Online reviews were a big thing, right?
Yes.
And I realized that, fuck, if someone flies to Hong Kong, right, and they're here for 3 days, they're going to spend four visits to Sam's Tailor. If they're here for 2 days, they're going to spend 3 visits to Sam's Tailor. If they're here for 5 days, 6 visits, etc., etc. I was like, no matter how much they love my city, the Peak, Ocean Park, the Buddha, whatever the fuck, right? If I fuck up their suit, they're going to hate Hong Kong, right? Uh,
Mm,
and that's basically it. And I was like, I'm in the experience-based business. I realized that, over a decade and a half ago, and I realized that everybody who shows up is fucking counting on me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so heartwarming. Every story is different, right? Every person, different color, different sex, different height, different weight, different age. It's
yeah.
just fucking brilliant. And if you keep killing it, you keep killing it. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't get old for me. It doesn't get old for me.
I,
It's brilliant.
I love that. I got to ask, where we've got a little bit more time, and what has been the most, and I don't know if you can talk about this, but the most
Yeah.
ridiculously expensive suit or dress or like power suit
Okay.
you've ever created? I love hearing stories like this.
So actually, it's not that expensive. Okay.
Okay.
It's not that expensive. And you've got to understand that my prices compared to off the rack prices is very, very different.
Hmm.
So something for me for 650 US, right? You probably buy it for $4,000 US from Tom Ford. Okay. So let's give you that perspective. Okay. So let's give you that perspective. So what's 4,000 divided by 650? Okay. Comes to six times. Okay. So I have sold one overcoat, right? And one to a client of mine in the Philippines, and then one suit to a client of mine in on Long Island. All right. And they cost $10,000 US each. Okay. So let's do that six times. Let's say it's five. Let's say it's even four. Let's say it's three fucking times more. So we're talking about $30,000 garments, say off the rack. But honestly, when you move to luxury stuff, right, it's not a multiple of six. It's probably a multiple of 12 or 20 or 100.
Right.
Okay. Probably $100,000 US suit, right? To be honest, or $1 million US suit. I'm not making this shit up, okay? So I don't want to go down this path because I don't want to get accused. You asked me a question. So I've made two garments very recently. It's no point about talking about 20 years ago, 30 years. No point talking
Yeah.
about what my father's done. Okay. So I have made two garments recently. It was a Piacenza Cocoon. Piacenza have been around since I think 1833 or something. Italian company, solely fabric weavers. Piacenza Cocoon overcoat for a client of mine in Cebu, the Philippines. He's a Canadian guy, okay? Big fucking guy, 6'6", 350. All right. So a lot of fabric. This is the most fucking expensive cashmere on the planet. All right. High grade. A mix of different cashmere, so different fabrics for all the different attributes, different color collar, different color cuts. The most fucking expensive
Wow.
lining, use Piacenza, most expensive buttons, etc., etc., etc. And it was just like a Tony Soprano coat on steroids, bro. It looked like something Tony would wear, but it was on steroids. Plus, it had all of Roshan's signature details on steroids. Okay, so hyped up versions of all the funky stuff that I do. And then I made a suit for a guy on Long Island, and it was 50% silk, 50% vicuna cashmere. Fucking stupid. Stupid stuff.
It sounds expensive. I have no clue what kind of cashmere that is. I'm just assuming it's insane.
And it had all my signature details and so forth. So, I mean, I think that if you would buy 100% vicuna, and I made another suit, 10,000 US for the same guy in Cebu, also 100% vicuna, insane. So I think if you bought 100% vicuna Brioni or Louis Vuitton suit, right, it'd be at least 100 grand, right? You know what I mean? So,
Whoa.
10,000 brings it into perspective and stuff. Now, I don't know if I'm reaching here or whatever. I'm just trying to give your audience perspective, give you perspective, because like I said, a 650 US suit from me would probably be 4,000 US at Tom Ford, 4,000 at Barney's, 4,000 US at Bergdorf. So that's a multiple of 6. It gives you
Yeah.
some idea and stuff. But people aren't really coming to me for that, right? People aren't really coming to me for that. I think in fact, I know, right? Look, if you can afford a Ferrari, right, you're going to buy a Ferrari. Okay. You're not going to come to Roshan to build you an electric car. Okay.
Mm.
I'm not fulfilling dreams for those type of people. Okay. People, if you can buy a 4,000 US dollar Tom Ford suit, you're generally going to buy that brand, that label. It means more to you. You've got the disposable income to continue to do that. It doesn't, that guy's 4,000 is my 650. Okay. In the sense that client's $4,000 is my regular client's 650. Okay. So
Right.
he has no qualms pulling the trigger on that every single time. I'm not aiming at that market. That doesn't mean I haven't worked with it. Right. I generally am the field of dreams, brother. I'm the field of dreams, bringing people's vision to life. And that's what I do. And, you know, $650 US is half the price of an iPhone. All right. It's half the price of a fucking iPhone. You can doll yourself up in all my signature details. You can have me gift wrap you in my 4D fit for $650 US. You can't beat that shit. You just
No,
cannot find that shit.
honestly, I thought you were when you started saying the prices for your stuff, I was expecting a lot more. But that blew me away. That's very, very affordable for a suit.
Oh, I
Real
went out
quick.
for dinner Saturday night. It was $1,500. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
It
Real
came out
quick.
next morning.
Yeah,
Go on.
absolutely. Our time here on Adobe Radio has come to an end. However, the interview continues on. All you have to do is tune in tomorrow morning, and it'll be up on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for tuning in live. The show continues on. Sorry, we've got that allotted space for
No
Adobe
problem.
Radio.
Is this live on Adobe Radio or it will be pre-recorded?
Well, I guess we'll break the illusion. It's pre-recorded, but we air it live on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay,
And
great.
then the next morning, it's the whole episode is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we do a whole bunch of posts to promote it.
So if you send me your posts, right? Okay, whether it's video or stills, right?
Yeah.
If you send it to me, I'll put it on all of my media.
Oh,
I try
thank
and
you so much. Yeah, we'll send you the
I
clips and we'll tag you.
I want to talk about something real quick, okay?
Yeah,
If you don't
please.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you found me on Tom Segura, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You clicked like on one of my posts. How fucking fast did I reach out to you?
Very quickly.
Okay. What went through your mind when I sent you that hi?
You want to know the honest truth? I got
I
to be
want to
honest
know.
with you.
Yeah, you gotta tell me.
Okay. I deal with a lot of crazy people. So
So do
I was like, okay, there's two ways this goes. He's either absolutely insane and he's gonna be like bombarding me with stuff, or like he wants to like hook up or something, or he's a totally normal dude and is doing really good at marketing, because that's the only two options and only
Yeah,
two possibilities that I've experienced in the past. So
yeah.
luckily it was the latter.
I am so happy to do this with you. You
Oh,
don't
thanks,
understand.
man.
Right? Like I am I'm such a fan. I think you're just brilliant. I love your comedy. I love how fucking intelligent you are. I love how fucking handsome you are. Okay,
Oh, thank
seriously,
you.
I like handsome guy. Listen, I need to remind your audience. I like fucking girls. Okay, I I don't want to fuck guys. I want to fuck women. Okay,
Cool.
seriously. And I love women. I'm a fucking musketeer. My mom and dad brought me up right and stuff. Right, but I
Hmm.
love handsome guys. You know what I mean? Like I love handsome guys. I can't help myself.
Thank
You know
you,
what I'm
man.
saying? I'm an Indian born and raised in Asia. Okay. What is Bollywood? Bollywood is handsome guy after handsome guy after handsome guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like I was an instant fan as soon as I
Oh,
stumbled
thank you.
across. So I couldn't help but reach out to you and then I was happy that you took me seriously. Um and the thing is that like I needed to suddenly give you real content, immediate content, right? Without saying, hey, can I come on your show? Right. So I had two interviews last week and I just forwarded you the link. I rolled a fucking dice with it, right? You saw both interviews last week and stuff,
Hmm.
and here we are today. And I take my hat off to you as a businessman. Okay. I take my hat off to you as a professional because we are here so fast, bro. We are here so fast. This is brilliant. You know what I mean? I'm in awe of you. I
Oh,
love
thanks.
it. Where are you? You in Los Angeles?
I'm Los Angeles based. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Wait,
because primarily where I do all my business.
so how is your show going? How is your career going?
It's going marvelously. I just got off a Law and Order organized crime show last year. Had a great recurring role on there. What's been wonderful about my overall acting career has it's been a great step by step by step by step upward. Where there are ups and downs, of course. But what's nice about learning something step by step by step and not shooting straight up into the stratosphere, you learn your craft a lot deeper, you learn the
Mhm.
business a lot deeper, and you learn from other people's mistakes, which I think is so critical for longevity in any type of career. And
100%.
so I'm really blessed. I'm really thankful. I learn a lot from successful people and also craftsmen like yourself. That's what
Yeah,
has also helped me get to where I'm at in my life because people who are passionate and extremely good at what they do, you can't help but learn from them and then
from them.
apply it to
Yeah,
yourself. So I
100%.
appreciate your compliments and everything. I'm glad we could make this work, even with
So
the
is your dad happy with you? With
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
good. That's
I've had
good.
supportive
Right?
parents,
That's
which
good,
I'm very blessed.
right? It's important what our parents think of us, right? They gave birth to us, they nurtured us, they brought us up. It's important. So my dad thinks I'm a fucking asshole, and no matter how good I do, okay, no matter how good I do, he can't get past the earrings. Okay, he just can't. He
Hey,
can't.
hey, let me be real with you. It's not all hugs and kisses and butterflies with me and my parents all the time either, okay? I know they're going to be watching this, so we can't get too detailed. They're old school. They're really old school, but I love them to death. I love my mom and dad to death. I respect them even if we have differing views on things. I think that's natural and we're first generation, we're immigrants to this country. So, it's been a big struggle. They sacrificed a lot, and we're hopefully learning a lot from each other as time goes on. So, yeah.
100%. What's your favorite video of mine and why?
Um, it was one of the Asian boys where you were like, "I'm going to open up this Asian boy," and I was like, "Ah, what is he for real?" And then it just kept hitting me like whenever like you you kept doing it for another guy, and I love when you say because they make them short in China
In
or they make them
China.
short in Japan, and
Yeah.
that just cracks me up because it's just a callback to the jokes. So yeah,
Yeah, I love the freedom that we have here in Asia, right? And
yeah,
for the longest time, I just thought that you guys were so wrapped up in in cancel culture and Me Too and woke shit that it was no longer no holds barred. And then I watched Chris Rock last week.
yeah.
Okay, I'm like, fuck, this is exactly like how I grew up. I'm so glad things are still very loose and funny and cool.
Well, not so much. I'll be honest with you. I have to be. Now see, now I'm thinking. My brain is thinking
Yeah.
how to uh listen, man, as you know, you got to play the game for
Yeah, it's
longevity.
tough.
Okay. I
It's
respect
tough
people's
where you
opinions,
guys are. It's tough
e-
where you guys are.
especially like the primary work I do is on major network TV. So
Yeah,
I always have to be careful
100%.
about what I say. I'll give you an example. While I was on the Law and Order show last year, we play stupid videos on my show and we react to them. And one of them was a moose running onto the highway and a car hitting it. And the moose, I'm telling you, it's the most insane thing you'll ever see. It flies through the air like you've never seen a moose that big ever fly through the air. And in the video, I say, I really hope I'm not laughing at the fact that moose got hit. I'm laughing at the fact that the surprise from the people in the car, their shock value they must have had watching that. And I hope the moose was either 100% okay or it died very quickly because I don't wish any suffering on an animal. I made that so clear. And then here come the hate. Here come the hate messages like, I can't believe you would laugh at something like this. You're on Law and Order. I'm like, what does those two things have to do with anything?
So
I'm
one of the thing
explaining
is that
what I'm laughing at. Do I have to explain every emotion I have? And I get it. Maybe my humor is not your cup of tea. That's fine. But then don't watch the show. Don't think this message is going to like change my viewpoint on things. Anyway,
so
overall, it's okay. Yeah.
I think that this is very generational, right? And
Mm,
it is only for a very small generation. All right. One
yeah.
of the amazing things that I have been able to accomplish, right? One of the most amazing things that is a byproduct of these videos, right?
Yeah.
I never I made a video, okay? I when I started these videos, they were just me
Yeah.
talking through the suit, the details and stuff, right?
Right.
And I don't know how they got to where they are, right? Maybe there was a slip of the tongue, or maybe the client said something stupid and I got back at him or whatever. I don't know what the evolution was. I cannot remember. I
Yeah.
cannot tell you some tipping point, right? And stuff. But what's been amazing for me with just regards to the videos is the amount of education that I've been able to give to guys globally across every age group. It's sensational. Every day without fail, some kid in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Tennessee, Dallas, Waco, fucking Alberta, Finland, you name it, right? I'll get a video from a kid where it's he and his buddy and some other buddy recording, and they're doing a parody of me. Okay. And they've I don't know if you've seen these parody
No, I
videos.
haven't seen the parody videos of you.
They're
I have
all
to
over
check them out.
TikTok, right? And this has been going on for a year. So they're all over Instant TikTok.
Yeah.
These videos up. And they're like, and now I present to you Ben from Finland. Here he is in my signature one-button jacket with my narrow peak lapel, and check out his bucket breast pocket while I feel his breast. And let me open this young white boy up and show you his ass. Yeah, everywhere
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
being played at bachelor parties. It is just nuts.
That's awesome.
And they, and then I will say thank you to the kid, right? Whoever's posted the video and repost. I don't repost all of them. Some of them, are just not repostable, right? And they're like, I love your stuff. I love your this. And it's not about the adulation towards me. It's about how they reel off the signature details. Okay. Now, when everyone's coming here, it's no more Reddit cheat sheet, you know what I mean, from some keyboard fucking warrior. It's a video with the signature details and stuff. Now, I didn't invent any of this shit. I just reconcocted it, made it a bit more wholesome, made it a bit more homogenized, and made it a bit more wearable.
Right.
Okay. And everybody knows this stuff. Everybody knows this stuff. And it's just been phenomenal. And so my recent journey has been about that, how I've touched people into knowing each and every aspect of a suit. Every DM I get, every email that I get, everyone who comes in here, they say, bro, because of you, I'm every suit I look at, I'm just dressing that suit down. Where's the roping on the shoulder? Where's the bucket breast pocket? Where's the dot stitching? It's amazing how subliminal these videos have become, just piercing people, and they're reading shit elsewhere. It's just wild.
Well, listen, I've learned you're never gonna 100% love or like someone, but it's important to see the positives in what they're offering and what they're doing. And if they are doing a lot of negative things, maybe learn from those things. But at the same time, like this judgment of people, this wanting of someone makes a mistake, they don't get an opportunity to redeem themselves for most situations, I think is a very tragic pathway if we continue down it. And I think the best you got to realize, man, we're all humans. We're trying to figure this stuff out. Social media is a brand new thing still in the human mind, like evolution wise, and we're not meant to handle biologically this stuff. I mean, you look at fame, a lot of like famous actors who started off young, famous people who get famous off online when they start off young, they're not able to like handle it as well. And you see a lot of these people crash and burn. So, just be nice, be kind to each other, do what you love
100%.
with passion, and you know, try to learn from each other and love each other
I
in the most
always lead
positive
with
way.
love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always lead with love.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no hate in me.
Yeah.
Bro, it's amazing talking to you. If you
Hey,
ever want me to come back on your show, I'll gladly do it.
oh, thank you so much for making time. I appreciate it. If people want to find you, where can they go on Instagram or
At
YouTube?
Sam's Tailor. I'm at Sam's Tailor, SAMSTAILOR everywhere.
Awesome. I'm gonna have my producer here hit the end on the recording. Before I go, thank you again for making time.
My
And
pleasure.
next time I'm in Hong Kong, I'm definitely stopping by. I'll message you before I'm in there so I can find my John Wick suit. Okay.
100%. 100%. I just can't make it bulletproof. Okay.
Uh, what? No, I'm kidding. All right, man.
Listen, you have a fan here in Hong Kong. Okay. You have a fan here in Hong Kong.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Before you go,
Yes.
I want to introduce you to my father.
Oh,
Okay?
yes. I'd love to meet your father. It'd be an
Papa.
honor. Thank you so much.
I want to make sure that we get a great shot of you and my dad as well.
What's his name?
His name is Sam. Come.
Sam.
This is Wesam in California. He just interviewed me for a show. You gotta sit down, Papa.
Mr. Sam.
Yes, sir.
Come though, he can't see you, Papa. There you go.
I cannot sit there.
Oh,
There you go.
Mr. Sam, it's an honor to meet you. You've raised such an amazing son. You should be very proud.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And your business is absolutely astounding. It has such a great reputation. So
Thank you very much. Thank you.
pleasure
So
meeting
how's
you.
the radio program?
It's doing
Is-
great.
So where are you now? LA?
I'm in
Or-
Los Angeles. Yes, sir.
Which part of Los Angeles?
In Hollywood area, like
Oh,
North Hollywood, really. Yeah.
I've been there lots of times. So that's why
Oh, yeah.
I stayed at Hilton Hotel at the Peninsula.
Okay.
I was staying there because I did my business there a long time ago.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilton Hotel is a nice, right part of the world where you can do all the shopping on the boulevard.
Yeah.
This is paid for by Hilton ad, by the way.
I think so. We'll put the Hilton ad right now.
Bro, I'm grateful to you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting
Take
you.
care of
Thank you.
yourself.
God bless. Take care.
We're golden, right? I'll send you a DM. You get your team to send me whatever promos they have. Let me
Absolutely.
put it out everywhere. Okay.
I will. We'll send you all the clips, brother. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for everything. Goodbye.
Goodbye.